This will be about a 30-minute lecture, followed by, we'll be splitting off with some awesome writers to basically facilitate and help you guys write your own script if you would like. One, maybe two you're going to get out of this, but the main thing is writers are going to understand a bit more what goes into specifically demo scripting. And for everyone here who clearly needs to get their demo done, you're going to get a few script ideas. So, without further ado, the Writing Workshop by Noisy Networking. Before we start, disclaimer. I want to thank Mia Fey for helping get all these awesome writers together to help you guys. And thank you, writers, each and every one of you.
You're welcome anytime.
So, a few prerequisites going into this because I haven't officially announced the voice acting demo competition in the server before this. So, to clear up a little bit of air there. Going into this, there's a lot being asked to make a demo, especially in this server. So, a few prerequisites to get into not only demo making, but finding scripts. A general understanding of your own range and what you can and cannot record. Meaning, I really want to do this, but if you can't perform it and you know you can't perform it, it probably does not belong in your demo. Gut feelings do count here. If you're brand new and you say, hey, I know I could do this right, yada, 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 gut feelings do count. A demo is a showcase for what you can do and what you are currently capable of in audio quality, performance, and variety. It's not an impression reel, should be original, and at the very least, if you're going to do a Joe Swanson or Kermit voice, for example, at the very least, make sure it's a different script. Maybe that's a range you could hit in your voice and you want to showcase it that way, sure. But even then, don't do impressions. It's what your voice can do, your ranges your voice can hit. Or even switch up the impression a bit. Make it yours is the bottom line. Variety is key. Unless you have your own niche down and it stands on its own in a demo reel, and I mean, this niche should be stretched to the thinnest possibilities. Like, if you can only do deep, boomy narration voices, then we want to hear it in 6 different ways, and it better be amazing in every way. Otherwise, variety is key in a demo. Now, going back to it, a lot is being asked going into a demo, and it's not easy, but it's not impossible for the average voice actor to do. Each voice actor needs a demo, and with these workshops, we hope that we can show that anyone and everyone can and should be making a demo, no matter what level you think yourself at. If nothing else, it'll be a showcase of your work and career up until this point, or your current capabilities, a checkpoint, a calling card, and essentially a tool for booking clients. There's many examples of clients asking for a demo reel or samples instead of, hey, can you record an audition with these 3 lines? So basically, you could see this on Twitter, Casting Call Club, Instagram, TikTok, and most importantly for your demo and finding these scripts and why this is essential. If you want to do any direct marketing work, you are going to need a portfolio. You are going to need samples. You are going to need something at the bare minimum you can send to people. And a demo reel is the closest thing a voice actor has to a calling card. Project directors want to match what they hear in your demo to their project, or have a small change to the sample that they can point to and say, hey, can you do this from your demo, but quieter, or this, but maybe a little younger? And thus, the samples you record, and more importantly here, the scripts you find or write, should be keeping the client's needs first in mind. If you want to be cast in video games, you have to keep video game clients in mind. What are they looking for? What are they casting for? What are you fitting to? Again, this can go crazy complicated or as simple as you want, but it is important to keep in mind that a demo is meant to be sent to clients. It's not for you, even though it is yours. It's meant to be sent to a client. So, keeping that in mind, let's get started with the actual presentation. What goes into a demo script? Again, variety is key. So, an overview of what should go into a demo script. Ideally, a sample in a demo should be no more than 15 seconds long. A demo should be ideally under 1 minute and 20 seconds. is sort of the industry standard. You can finagle it here and there. Each person's demo is a little different. You're going to find out what works. You're going to find out what doesn't. But the point is that you are going to find out. Bleh. Now, when it comes to what is a demo script, this can be the best of a script, meaning if you're looking at, for example, the fight between Obi-Wan Kenobi and Anakin Skywalker, really random example. Their entire fight monologue can be over 2 minutes long, but you're going to pick the best 15 seconds of, "You are my brother, Anakin," and so on and so forth. You could pick any scene, or when you're writing a scene, it's just going to be the center 15 seconds, the real meat of the scene. None of the story, none of the lead up, just the climax of any scene, whether it be a sad scene, whether it be a boring scene, doesn't matter. It's the best of that scene. Now, usually demo scripts are based on stereotypes and, or again, niches, like, okay, this script is meant for a deep voice Darth Vader, to bring up Star Wars again, type character. Not to say you should make it stereotypical, but these are based on vocal stereotypes because you're going to be sending it to a client. You want to show off your vocal range, your voice, obviously, your performance ability, including your use of emotion and mic technique, and, of course, your microphone quality is basically your whole demo. So if you're recording on a phone here, or you've never made a demo, and you're only recording on a phone, and you can edit at least, you can still make your demo. And the point is, you're meant to update these. You are meant to update your demo. You were never meant to stick to your demo. And if you're brand new to this, you're going to be updating it a lot, and there's nothing wrong with that. So, an example here of what a demo script would be like is down here. Simple, under 3 sentences. The meat of it, kids who have never seen peace and kids who have never seen war have different values. Justice will prevail, you say, but of course it will. Whoever wins this war assumes justice. Very snappy, very simple, very under 15 seconds so you can fit in the other 4 samples. Should not be very long. So there's an example of a demo script. FYI, I will show where I got it and adapted it from later. Moving into it. Ways to procure a script for your demo. 1. Find one online royalty-free. 2. Find one online and try to adapt it. 3. Use a sample from something you've recorded. 4. Adapt something you've recorded. 5. Write your own. Or 6. Hire someone. We'll get to that. We'll go over each one. So, finding one that's royalty-free. Now, there are 2 amazing resources that I found by literally looking up free recording voiceover scripts to use for your demo. And voices.com and voice reels, voices.com, has a lot of free scripts. Mind you, they are very used. Both of these links are very used. So, you may want to find your own or find a different link because you want your demo to not only be yours, but unique and having variety to it. So, for these 2 links that I'm sharing currently, while they are great examples for royalty-free scripts that you can use to record your samples, demos, and add to your portfolio, keep in mind, they're not exactly secretive, so everyone has access to these. And the other URL that I shared here for finding a royalty-free script that you can use for your demo is Voice Reels. This is connected through Voquent. If you do not know Voquent.com, it is an online casting website where basically it's an online agency for free where all you have to do is upload samples. The website looks at your samples and casts you from there. And they say, okay, we understand we're asking you to record 46 different samples. Here's a website for it. So you can go in here, you can go through characters. You can find hundreds. But that's not the meat of this. If you wanted to find a royalty-free one, sure. It's available, it's out there. But make sure it says that you are allowed to use the recording for your portfolio and or demo. And if you're gonna find one royalty-free out there, do not use it as is, even if you do find it. Tweak it up a little bit, make it you. Whatever slang you grew up with, whatever weirdness that makes you you, add that to the script. Add that to your reads also. But you writing it for yourself, knowing what you can record and perform, will always be ideal. But it's a lot to ask from somebody because you guys need to have the confidence to not only write, but be able to perform these. So, finding one that is royalty-free is an option. Next, finding a not royalty-free script online and adapting it anyway. Now, this could be from anything. A lot of people are fans, and specifically this voice acting demo is for video games and animation character demo. So, for instance, if you wanted to adapt something, you could choose a song. For instance, there's this... Here's it right now, a monologue in a song that's, oh, that sounds so cool, I want to adapt that. Maybe I'll listen through the song, transcribe it onto paper, look up the lyrics, say, okay, I like this song's monologue, it sounds cool, I'm going to try to remake it for my demo. People would never know it's from Ode to Leonidas by Firewind, but you'd adapt it, you'd take it as an idea, and try to make it a bit of your own, changing out the pronouns, maybe not making it Leonidas, but using something as a template that you know you could perform. Another example, of course, you're like, oh man, I really like pop culture, but I really want to include something that nobody's gonna know. Maybe you want to do a monologue from The Incredibles. You don't have to, make the villain your actual voice. It'll be you performing it. And again, transcribing it, saying, okay, I like the way this character performed this scene. I think I can adapt it a little better. You switch around the script a little bit, switch around the performance a lot a bit, and make it yours. And for a third one, of course, at 14 minutes and 20 seconds, everybody watches anime. Say, okay, I want to have a awesome anime monologue in my voice acting demo of a villainous monologue. Here you go.
Will justice prevail? Why, there's no other way.
That's a monologue from Doflamingo, which also I used earlier in the presentation. I took that scene. It was a 6-sentence monologue. I deleted the 3 middle sentences, switched around a few proper words, and there you go. A fully adapted demo script for your demo. So that's a way you can find one online or find one from pop culture and just adapt it for yourself. The choices are endless, but make sure that you definitely switch it around a little bit. If not for copyright issues, for you don't want people to know, oh, that's a Superman monologue, or oh, that's a Harry Potter monologue. You don't want people to know it. Sort of a weird unspoken rule of demo making, but make it your own. If you're going to copy it from anything, whether it be a song, whether it be a anime, whether it be a movie, a video game, whatever, if you're already using it from something pre-existing, make it your own. Because this is your demo. You are not Kermit the Frog. You are you. Going on to the next one. Using a sample from something you've recorded. This is probably one of the more favored ways of making your demo or finding a script for your demo or finding a sample for your demo even. Basically, anything that is publicly available, you can use on your demo. No matter what it is. If it's streaming, but you have to pay for it, doesn't matter. You can use it in your demo. Is it publicly available? Is it on YouTube? Can I find a link right now? Can I buy it? Is it buyable? Then it's publicly available. If you're ever wondering about NDAs, that is the end all be all. Publicly available, unless your NDA says otherwise, but it shouldn't. Anyway. So, using a sample from something you've recorded. Now, what you've recorded, you're thinking, well, maybe I've done narrations or I've done this character stuff, but nothing's quite a voice demo script. everything's too long, something's 10 minutes, or this one character line doesn't make any sense in here. Well, what I mentioned in the beginning of taking the best of a script or the best of a scene, you take the best of the recording, the best 15-second snippet or less of the recording, and use that as your sample. Or better yet, you say, okay, I now know the best 10 seconds of this. Time to re-record it, redo it, add a little bit more to it, add some more pizzazz to it. Maybe it's an audition that you did that's publicly available, casting call. So you may, depending on how you feel. Anyway, auditions that you've done that are publicly available you can use, but we'll go into that a little bit more. Any snippet of any publicly available completed works, including YouTube videos, published books or works, anything that's been streamed, anything that any recorded practices in classes. A lot of the times if you ask a teacher, they will say yes. Most of the time. But as you'll hear me say for this and the next slide, ask. So many questions. No matter what you do, ask. There's nothing wrong with asking. You can always make a mistake, but you can always ask as well. So, if you're ever like, I don't know if I'll get in trouble for this, just ask the content creator and ask, hey, can I add this to my portfolio to show off my voice work? Can I use this in my portfolio? And I'll mention that later. But anything that's publicly available, anything that's out there, cut 15 seconds from it and use that, or rewrite the script down so you can re-record it later, or fix up the script. So, if you are worried, you can always link to the project, add disclaimers, ask the project creator, and do not monetize your demo if you are posting it to YouTube. And that's just going to say if you are using sound effects or music, which is in 2 weeks. Adapt something you've recorded. Now, this one's, again, a little bit different. Adapting something you've recorded is, okay, I'm going to take something that I was given and sort of in the way of not royalty free, but I'm going to rewrite it, redo it, add more to it. I know I recorded this audition that I could have added way more to. Let me add a few sentences to like let me add a few sentences to a few lines and see if I can make a better sample out of it. Would be adapting something that you've already recorded. Which, yeah, just to rewrite something you've already done, that being auditions, anything that you've recorded before, any practice you've done, any vocal training, anything. Now, this is the second to last one. Write your own script. Not finding one this time, not using one from works you've already done and worked through and everything. Write your own. Stay tuned till after the presentation. Keep in mind what goes into a demo script. That being, you want to show off to clients, and you want to show off variety to clients. That being your voice, your range of emotion, your ability to act, your microphone quality. That doesn't matter as much in scripting. But 3 sentences max. Climax of a scene. Whether it be, I don't care if you're writing for a boring character that just hates going to school. I want to feel bored. I want it to be the climax of that scene. Again, showcases vocal volume, tonal range, range of emotion, acting ability, all the above. Variety is key, so these should be powerful acting moments meant to make someone feel something. Anything. Does not have to be an intense scene, but it has to be a scene. Anyway, easier said than done, but practice and adaptation makes perfect. Last one, hire someone. Well, when you have every other option, this should be your last one. And again, not everyone here has the money for that. And if you're paying for a demo already that has this included, just make sure you actually have the performance ability, quality, everything to be able to back up a paid demo. Because if you go to a studio and are professionally directed and professionally written and professionally recorded, but you go back home to your phone or USB mic, you're going to have some issues. So be wary about paying for anything before you give it a shot yourself. Vet who you buy from. An informed buyer is a smart buyer when that comes to demos, when that comes to mics, when that comes to anything in this career. 1, you should be editing yourself. You should be learning to at least basically edit yourself. There's no reason not to. And you sort of have to, and if you want to have this as a career. Editing is almost essential, unless you can pay someone to do it, and that goes along with script writing. You can get help, you can have all this stuff, and yeah, if you have the money, you can pay for it, but you know your voice. You know what you can perform. You should be able to say, okay, at very least, I know I could do this sort of character. That being said, write your own first. If all else fails, well, you have another option. Anyway, an example of a demo layout. Now, this one I added right before this, because I just remembered. So basically, if you have 6 different scripts and they're all supposed to be short little 15-second, 3-sentence blurbs, what are the main ideas? So if you need 6 different samples in a demo, you'd have an anxious, funny hero, someone up here, a gruff soldier, a horror movie victim with lots of screaming to show off sort of, well, your recording capability actually, because then you show off the acoustics of your room without everything being right here. That's also important. A moody kid or teen, so something, I don't know, you're showing off your range. An intense interpersonal romance scene, so instead of the screaming, you're, Rebecca, I can't believe you cheated, whatever. And then number 6, throw them off. A monster voice, something, a wild card. But basic ideas for your templates, for your scripts, for, all right, I'm going to write a 3-sentence gruff soldier in active combat. I'm going to write a 3-sentence horror movie victim. Where am I going? Over there. There you go. And finally, thanks for attending. You're a voice actor, Ari.